Hi, my name is Alicia Cordes and I'm the founder of the nonprofit Reclaim Community, and I want to welcome you to Jasper, Minnesota. Jasper is a tiny town of 633 people on the southwest corner of Minnesota, right on Highway 23, about 15 miles from the I-90 interstate. And we consider ourselves the gateway to Minnesota because we're right in the corner between South Dakota, Iowa, and Minnesota. Come here, find out what is so special about historic Jasper, the quarry that we were founded on, and all these beautiful historic buildings. We have about 13 buildings left in town that are still remaining of quartzite, and a lot of these buildings, there was 3 blocks up and down Main Street that was just full of quartzite buildings mostly, and some wood frame store buildings at one point. A lot of the buildings in town have not been really updated or renovated since about the 90s. This was a town that was once thriving. We had a bakery, a grocery store, a cafe. We have a bank and a bar that are still operating, but most of these, about half of these buildings on Main Street are vacant. And we have a lot of potential opportunity for small businesses to come into town. This is a bedroom community for some cities around here, and there's just a lot of potential for people to have affordable business spaces if we can update some of these buildings and attract people with some really great ideas. Like you can see the hardware store behind me. These are just buildings that are few and far between. They're disappearing in many hometowns, and I can tell you that we're really excited about potential. My organization has been working hard for about 5 years, and we purchased the high school, have gotten a $75,000 grant for a historic structures report to start the work of renovating it. We also received a $10,000 grant to do a conditions assessment on Bauman Hall, which is right here behind me, which is one of the historic, it was an opera house and a mercantile store for Jasper, and held a lot of plays, musicals, class graduations, and a lot of events for the community until the high school gymnasium was built. And so we are working on that building right now to fix some structural issues with it and to clean out and renovate the first floor, which was most recently a senior center until about 10 years ago. This town was founded on volunteerism. We have a volunteer fire department, a volunteer ambulance service. We have the Lions Club, which is very active in this area. We have the Quartzite Alumni Club, which is still active even though high school closed in 1993. Economic development is defined as the process by which the economic well-being and the quality of life of a community is improved. And in Pipestone County, part of that process is our redevelopment and reuse of Jasper School and Bauman Hall. In 5 years, Reclaim Community has raised over $250,000 for repairs, grant writing, and maintenance of these buildings. Just 1/4 of the cost of demolition of these buildings has allowed us to not only save the taxpayers another $1 million in demolition costs, but incrementally and affordably lay the groundwork needed to get these 2 buildings back into use. These unique historic places will be a center for economic opportunity, for housing, for affordable business incubation, increased tourism, and growing community wealth. By investing into our existing resources as good stewards of what we have, we will save taxpayer money and open up new avenues for income. As we continue to receive MNHS grants for repairs and complete reuse studies into specific businesses and housing activities are the best fit for the county, we will also attract additional public and private investment. We know that it's hard to see the work that's going on behind the scenes when we're in the planning stages of the process. Just know that everyone's patience and support is paying off. With our latest $75,000 grant to complete our historic structure report for Jasper School, it means the donation dollars of the last 5 years have been more than matched by the state. This investment support has been recognized by the Historical Society, by Ethos or Preservation Alliance, and people at the state level are aware of the impact that we're making and the work that we're doing, and it will also continue to make them more likely to support projects like ours in the future. We are participating in policy discussions on extending the historic tax credit, which is a vital incentive to responsible caretaking of these buildings, and economic growth and affordable housing, and it is one of the most powerful revitalizing tools that any community can have. It consistently has a greater return on investment than new construction, creates more jobs, more business, greater property values, and more private investment than new construction in 100% of the studies that have been researched by Place Economics across the country. So we want to thank you if you have supported us. If you haven't heard of us, we would love to ask you to join our efforts. One of the best things that you can do is be a cheerleader for us. You know, if you're able to financially donate, that's wonderful. If you were able to donate some of your time and your talents, that is amazing. And if you are connected to the resources and the people who have the resources and the skills to help us, that is just priceless. And just to give an example of the power that investment can have in the community, if each resident of Pipestone County, which is 9,000 people, were to donate just $110, we would raise $1 million. And we can immediately implement design plans, complete a reuse study, and make some adequate repairs to things like a new roof, replacing the aged heating system, fixing the plumbing issues and things that we have after a building has been abandoned for so many years. It's just amazing to think about the power that amount of investment can have. I talk about getting a good return on your investment and money back, and that is really an amazing